Supreme Court not once but twice in the review petition also said they should be hanged in 1999 and today is 2012. So this is because of blackmail. You are afraid. We have today the weakest government, not only because of Manmohan Singh, but every minister, I can tell you, is a blackmailable quantity today. This is the saddest part of our state, and this is because of corruption. This is the implication of corruption. Everybody wants to find fault with Manmohan Singh, and people ask me, why are you soft on him? Well, there's no question of my being soft on him. Of course, I know him. But if he goes, who will come? Someone better? I don't see it. If the whole UPA is to be sent, I as an opposition member would welcome it. But why target Manmohan Singh? He has not made money in 2G at all, I can tell you. He kept on watching while this was going on. Bhashmacharya also watched Draupadi being stripped. So we cannot, just because you're watching, that's a civil wrong. It's called malfeasance in power. But it's not a criminal act. There's not even a whiff of criminality in that. Anybody is so weak. Well, he was chosen because he was weak. But the Prime Minister's chair has so much power, why can't he use that power? Sir, have you ever been to a circus? In a circus, there will be in one cage 5 lions. We call in Hindi lions a sing. 5 lions like Manmohan Singh, you see. And the ringmaster will come and close the gate of that cage, and then he'll crack a whip and say, get up on that bench. And these lions will climb up. Each lion is strong enough that if it uses his paw on that ringmaster, he will be dead. But they obey him because the mind has been prepared that way. Let me tell you, strength is not important. What is important is your mindset. If you have a circus lion mindset, you will obey the orders. And that's what has happened with Manmohan Singh program. Not all numbers matter, you see. You have 1,000 goats standing at one place and one tiger comes. Goats have the majority, but they're all run away. That is why I'm saying that today our mindset is being managed by this corrupt money. Media, television, all these things are being now used. Money power is using it to prepare your mind. That's another major minus effect for our society. Major implication. Your stock market here is now almost become a rigged market. Why? Because the money goes abroad and then the cash in dollars you take to Morgan Stanley or Fidelity Insurance, Fidelity Investments or Goldman Sachs, and you put it on the counter and say, here's my Indian passport, give me a participatory note. And that participatory note has nothing on it, no serial number, nothing, except the amount you have placed on the counter. You take that participatory note, come to India, make a photostat copy, give to the Reserve Bank. Reserve Bank will give you a chip that you can invest it in the stock market. And you go and invest in stock market. And the stock market booms up. You sell it at the top, and with the rupees that you get as capital gains, you take it to the Reserve Bank and say, I did it through the participatory note, so please convert this entire thing into dollars. It is converted to dollars, you take it abroad. So the black money goes abroad and comes back to India, earns money and goes out again. This was necessary because I was told that one day Sonia Gandhi complained to Chidambaram when he was finance minister, what is this, these Swiss bank people, they instead of giving us interest on our accounts, they are claiming service charges of 2%. So we must find some way. And Chidambaram, being the loyal minister that he was, he came up with this participatory note. Damodaran opposed it, so he lost his job. They brought somebody else. People say sometimes, why are you so much after Sonia Gandhi? He wants to be a bahu in our country. She even wears a sari, puts on a tika. You know, she's trying to be one of us. I said, I'm not fooled. When Ramayana, you know, in Ramayana, when Ravan came to abduct Sita, and he felt that she won't cross the Lakshman Rekha. So what did he do? He put on the clothes of a sannyasi. He came in Bhagwa, and out of regard for the Bhagwa, Sita crossed the Lakshman Rekha. So I'm not going to be fooled by the clothes people wear. It's not an important thing. I'm willing to debate with any congressman all these facts that I have know about her as saying. And some of them she has herself admitted. She claimed in the election returns, election nomination forms, an affidavit that she had got a degree in English from the University of Cambridge. I went to University of Cambridge for a lecture and found out that there was no such student. So I asked them to give it to me in writing. So they gave it to me in writing. I gave it to the speaker, Manoj Joshi, who then sent it to her, asking for comments, and she writes back to say it was a typing mistake. So I told Manoj Joshi, typing mistake means comma, full stop, and spelling. But a whole sentence? So he said, what shall we do? I said, send it to the Guinness Book of World Record for the longest time. There's no question of my being against a foreigner or anything like that. It's a question, that is my job as an opposition to point to the faults. It's not, if I found somebody in the opposition and the ruling party as good, I will not oppose him. I've been defending Manmohan Singh even when my friends have been criticizing me. When Rajiv Gandhi was there, I was his closest friend. He and I together created the Chandrasekhar government. Narasimha Rao made me a minister. And in fact, he used to listen to me. First day he took over Prime Minister, he called me up and said, Swamy, you have prepared some blueprints, give it to me. So I said, will you implement it? He said, yeah, I will. And he did. The credit, in fact, doesn't go to me because I used my brains to produce a blueprint. It doesn't go to Manmohan Singh because he implemented it. The credit goes to Narasimha Rao for having that. And we produce such a high rate of growth. Where are the communists today? They kept telling me, I remember Namboodiripad used to say, that in the Soviet Union there is no inflation, there is no unemployment, there is no poverty. In August 1991, I told Namboodiripad, now there is no Soviet Union also. We had only 3%, 3.5% rate of growth at that time, which Devashish just now said is the Hindu rate of growth. How is it a Hindu rate of growth? It's a Soviet rate of growth. Putting the blame on the Hindus is wrong. But anyway, the fact of the matter is that we produced double the rate of growth within 3-4 years, that we are having 3.5% to 7%, and now it went right up to 9%. And if we do not have corruption in India, I'm telling you, our growth rate will not be less than 14% per year for the next 14 years. Because then you have vast amount of resources. And the decision making will be on merit. And with on merit, then you will get the best possible use of your resources. It will not be an inefficient or inoptimal use of resources. So now, question is, what do we do? How do we clean up the Indian society? First, let me make a few brief comments and then get into these various methods that are today available in our country. Let me say that if we use our technology properly, then corruption can be controlled. Take for example, in the 1970s, railway reservations was the most corrupt thing that could happen, most harassing thing. You had to bribe the station master, the ticket collector, the man at the counter. Now, because of computerization, for which we have to give credit to Rajiv Gandhi, this computerization has completely reduced that corruption, completely reduced it. So by technology you can do it. Now you can download forms in villages and all. People are very happy because now I find even villages people are having laptops and printers. They can get all their land records, information, everything by printout. So technology is one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is to ensure that people who get caught are given. You may have a low probability of getting caught, but you once caught, you then give them the maximum punishment. And that would mean that a person would be any person will be personally hesitant to do corruption, because you say, well, the bribe I can get, but the implications or the consequences are so heavy, I don't want to do corruption. In America it happens, it doesn't happen here. In America on January 8, 2008, there was a press conference in New York addressed by a man called Bernard Madoff. And he said, I confess that I have stolen pension funds and I am ready to meet any punishment. On the same day in Hyderabad, Ramalinga Raju of Satyam was addressing a press conference saying, I have defalcated my company accounts and made a lot of money and I am ready to face any punishment. More or less the same message, same confession. In 6 months, Madoff was convicted for 150 years and now is in jail. And Satyam Ramalinga Raju, he is in bail in air-conditioned comfort. Martha Stewart in the United States only phoned up, only one thing she did. She phoned up her stockbroker and said that she had heard in a cocktail party that such and such company is going to sell. So get rid of his shares. On that, they sent her to jail for 6 months. She was the most celebrated TV personality in terms of home cooking and things like that. But they didn't spare her. They put her in convict's clothes and sent her to jail. And asked the Americans, why are you so harsh on this woman? They said, if you get caught, then that's it. That means if you have a low probability but high consequence, then on the average, it's a disincentive to be corrupt. So we have to have that. Why I am going after this 2G in such a way and at the big names is because that is the only way to create a climate that everyone personally feels, baap re baap, kya ho jayega hum logon ka. You know, that atmosphere. Other thing we need is that all of you should have a positive attitude. We are very negative people. नहीं कुछ नहीं होगा, कोई नहीं पकड़ा जाएगा, सब छूट जाएंगे. Every judge will be purchasable. I don't think that is correct also. But you have to have a positive attitude. Yes, we need to do it and we will do it. And some things will happen because of that. This is the art of positive thinking. This negativeness must go. Of course, the best thing that can have is if you don't need many crusaders. Even in a cabinet of 40 members, if you have just 4 honest people and gutsy people, not the honest like Manmohan Singh, but with the spine in your back. So if you have gutsy people who are also honest, I can tell you in just 4 people, that is 10% of the cabinet, can produce you a complete transformation. Because the machinery is so large that you can do wonderful things. I am doing today alone. Every day people ask me, usko bhi pakdo, you know. See, I don't have the machinery. Even to get the documents, I have to make so much effort and use all my resources in terms of personal contacts and network and so on. So if you're in government and there are honest people there, and not all, only 10% of your ministers are honest, and your Prime Minister especially has to be honest, then I am going to tell you that corruption in this country will go very fast. Because the tradition of this country is simplicity. Tradition of country is sacrifice. And therefore, that leadership has to come, it can only come through an election. It can come in big cities. You did it. I mean, the Indian people have done it when it all entered their brain that it has to be done. For example, 1977, I stood from Bombay. I was elected twice to Lok Sabha from Bombay, from the northeast Bombay. I didn't have a penny in my pocket when I contested this 77 election. People gave me the money, people gave me the votes. Same thing the next election also, the following election. I won without spending any money. So money is not a factor where the people are aroused. Unfortunately, the people have been betrayed so many times that they become cynical. But please, no matter how many times you're betrayed, never become cynical. Be positive, say, okay, next time we will do it, and it can be done. In fact, when I started this 2G prosecution, people say, oh, kuch nahi hone wala, this is too big an amount. Nothing will happen. No minister will ever go to jail. Minister started going to jail. First when Raja, then Kanimori. Now Maran's turn is any day. Chidambaram just missed, but it won't be very long. But the superintendent of Tihar jail sent me, told my friend, you please tell Swamy, bada dikkat paida kar raha hai. So I said, why? He says, he's only sending Madrasis to jail. So I said, what's wrong with that? He said, because the Bawarchi says they all demand masala dosa and idli and I can't do it. I said, okay, wait till an Italian comes and asks for a pizza. Today there are three major movements for fighting corruption. One is led by Anna Hazare.